Good morning and welcome back to Ask Ima. So we're here today with some Q&A, weekend Q&A, and I know I'm a little behind schedule, but I am going to catch it all up today. And we are going to wrap up this session of going from renting to buying in 3 simple steps. So first we're going to open up with our new questions for the weekend. And actually I am on an app called Nextdoor, and it covers about 15 communities here in Brooklyn. It's a fantastic app, and I have been receiving some questions from there too. So I'm kind of excited. The word is getting out, and I'm here to help you buy a home, sell a home, or pick the right broker to sell with. So full transparency here. This is the only way I know how to flow. So let's start and take a look at what questions rolled in this weekend. So question number 1 was, I'm not sure how to figure out my monthly expenses, what to do what do I need to factor in when computing my monthly rent versus my potential mortgage? So it's a great question. And it has many layers, as does everything. And that's the real reason why a one-on-one consultation is so critical. Whether you end up buying with me or not is solely up to you. But actually having someone with totally unrelated to you, unbiased, and if you decide to close your transaction with me, I would refund the consultation fee. So remember, the coaching consultation fees are refundable if you end up buying or selling with me. Otherwise, you get a full unbiased opinion and approach, especially on what to do, who to work with, who you should work with, what type of person you need on your side, what your situation is. Everybody has a different story. Everyone has a different situation and a different need. Not all home buyers are the same, and not all renters. So there are so many different needs that need to be met on multiple levels, and anyone who tries to squeeze you all in one bucket, say no. The answer is no, because you don't fit in that bucket. And anyone who tries to pretend that they're all about the people now and everyone's using it in their marketing, how transparent they are, and it's all about you. And at the end of the day, it's really still about the transaction. So just make sure that you get an unbiased opinion from somebody. And so the answer to that question, there are multiple levels. I'm only going to cover a little bit of it. It all depends. Some rents do not include heat and water or heat and hot water, and some rents do. So it's going to be different because on your mortgage payment is going to contain just your mortgage and your principal interest pay, and that's about it. So you'll still have to factor in real estate taxes, and you'll still have to factor in your heat, your gas, your electric, your water, and all of the other things that you spend on a monthly basis. So it's best to take a pen and paper out and make a list of everything you spend monthly, and especially the household expenses, which are like cable, if you still use cable. I abandoned cable, but if you still use cable, that's great. Your heat, your water, your gas, your electric, and your rent. Now, if your heat water is included in your rent, then just know that when we factor in your mortgage payments, that's going to be on top of your mortgage payments. Some mortgages may encompass a real estate tax payments or hold taxes in escrow. Everyone's story is different again, so it's going to vary, but I want to give it to you as straight as I possibly can, so break out that pen and paper. So you want to take your base net rent and always just add and compile from there. Okay, so if your rent's $2,000 and you have to pay your heat and you know your gas bill, your National Grid or Con Edison bill in the winter months have increased, please factor that in as well. Because clearly when you own your own condo, you will be paying your own heat and hot water. You get your own mechanicals. Okay, so it'll be your responsibility to maintain that. You can always buy a home warranty policy, very inexpensive. You're going to need homeowners insurance and all of these things that you may not need. Some renters are smart and they have renters insurance, so therefore they're already used to that out of pocket. So my best answer to that is make a list, a complete list of everything you spend monthly that involves that home. Not necessarily food, because food you're going to have to buy regardless, right? We need food to live, so not food. But just things that relate to the property and to your rental. So do you pay renter's insurance, etc., etc., etc.? And then, of course, call me, email me, or send me a message if you need some more help. We just, unfortunately, can't cover each and every single individual dynamics right now, because we'll be on this video for hours to come. And so, next question. What if I don't qualify for a conventional type loan? What type of mortgages can I get? Right now, That's a great question. Another good question. So pretty much it doesn't take that much to qualify for mortgages, right? We need good credit, clearly, because the lender's not going to take a risk with someone who's in constant default or has too much debt. However, today there are products coming back into the market that are no income verification, or they're called no documentation loans, no income verification loans. Not quite total Ninas from the past, but similar. Some are doing a 65% LTV, which is fantastic. Some loan to value ratio. Some will also allow it with a 30% down payment. So if you're cash strong, but yet not so credit worthy, there's loans out there for you today. Okay, FHA, great starter, first starter home, 3.5% down, credit score of 500 or greater. A few extra fees involved there. Call me. I have some great mortgage people I could put you in touch with, or you can call your own mortgage people, or we could discuss your mortgage people, and maybe they're great, and maybe they only do commercial and you need residential. Whatever the case may be, I have some great contacts for you. So just remember, there are some products out there right now that are doing, like, even for foreign buyers. So don't feel bad if you're not from the United States and you still want to buy some real estate. There's some deals out there, and there's ways to make that happen. I've represented some foreign buyers in the past. So, just give me a call and send me an email. So don't worry about conventional financing. There are other options out there, out of the box options. You just need to go to the right place. You won't find those type of products at Wells Fargo or like a Bank of America. You're going to find them through a mortgage broker, because they're going to fish it out to like so many different entities that actually lend and willing to take higher risks. That's all this comes down to. Don't let anyone fool you. It's just strictly checks and balances. Are you going to default on the mortgage or not? And what's the likelihood? The more skin in the game, the less likely you are to default. The less skin in the game, the more likely you are to default, so the fees get higher. This is strictly a numbers thing, nothing emotional. The bank doesn't want to fall in love with you, and you don't need to fall in love with the bank. You just need the money from the bank to buy what you want. And so let's stay focused and put you on the right track. The next question I got this weekend was that somebody has about $200,000 saved, but their credit score was not so great, but they have no other debt, but they do have student loans. Okay, so the answer is, can they buy a condo? Sure. So your credit score is fine. 675 should be fine, even for a condo. $200,000 down is great. Let's not stretch you all the way to the max of your purchase buying power. Let's say a little bit below that, so that your down payment is actually goes into the 30% range. Once you hit 30% down or 35, the bank pretty much is gonna skate. So long as you have no other debt, no default on your records, no foreclosures, no financial hardship. Student loans, although they do come up as bad debt, and it's unfortunate, and I hope there's reform with that in the future, because so many people, they want to go to college and get a better education, and then the government slams them with all this debt on their record. So someone has to kind of like jump on that and try to help clear that up. The unfortunate part is that it will come up, and it is looked at as debt, however, viewed in a different way, even when you're renting. So don't worry if you have student debt. Just get a good agent that knows how to navigate around that, okay? Nobody wants to get punished for going to school and seeking a higher education. So there are ways around it. So the short of that is yes, you have a strong down payment. Again, where are you buying? Where are you renting? What is the market like? What are the costs of the apartments? Everything comes into play. There is a very, very small amount of scenarios that are exactly black and white. Real estate's like this big gray area that we need to constantly clear and constantly outline each individual person's desire to buy, rent, or invest, and see what's fitting. Where you're going. Where's the other vine? I mean, you're not going to let go of something with nothing in the immediate future to grab onto. So let's get you on track and let's get you moving. All right. So we are going to wrap our Q&A. I did receive another question that I will talk about. Someone had asked me, is this a good time to sell? And the reason I want to go into that is because we are going to continue this Ask Ima Q&A into our weekly videos, with the exception, of course, if I get pulled away of something personal, then there's nothing I can do about that. But in the meantime, is it a good time to sell? So my answer to that, not as a real estate broker or a real estate professional who's going to say, of course it's a good time to sell. It's always a good time to sell. Now, I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to chase the commission or the listing agreement and make you think that it's, oh, the great time to sell. It is always a good time to sell if it is the time that you need to sell. If you need to sell and arrive somewhere else, then you need to sell, and that makes it a great time. Real estate is a cycle. It goes up and down just like everything else. That's why we call it the market. Real estate is a market. It is living, moving, and breathing. It is never steady and the same. It fluctuates up and down, 7-year cycles, okay? We are on a down market. That doesn't mean it's not a good time to sell. I need to know exactly why you're thinking of selling. What is it that you need to accomplish by selling? If it's just to test the market and see how high of a number you can get, don't waste people's time. Nobody wants to do that. Marketing is expensive. We spend a lot of time and energy on a listing. We want to work with people who actually want to sell their properties or need to sell their properties or need to sell their properties to move on to something bigger and better in their lives. Let's keep the standards high here. And let's keep your expectations in check. When is a good time to sell? If it's the right time for you, it is a great time to sell. Work with someone ethical and transparent. Again, it's Ima Giaccoli, YouTube channel, Ask Ima Giaccoli, askima.com. I am on Nextdoor. I am on Twitter and Facebook. Tyler Vincent Real Estate. I am the broker owner of Tyler Vincent Real Estate, and I'm located in Carroll Gardens. I have a car. I will travel. Stay tuned and see you next time. Bye.